found himself in the wall. Look at that, and Marcus Ambrose too. Marcus Ambrose parks it at turn 10 and escapes from the hatch. On lap 75 of 78, he didn't think the car would make it there anyway to the end. And now it's official, Marcus Ambrose.
Look at the damage on Stevens' car. So there's been some crazy stuff unfolding in the last couple of laps.
There, Steve, but we've got to try and finish at the end of the race there, mate.
Oh, the front end's completely and utterly gone. They're up for a big check when it comes to front splitters. Shell Helix Racing, they've had their troubles with Max Wilson.
There's going to be garbage all over the road, debris, so there's a puncture risk for everybody out there.
You can see some coolant possibly pouring out the front there of Stephen Johnson's car, and that really is a sad story for Junior Johnson because he climbed his way up through the field. They've had their problems. This will explain the story. Now, Stephen Johnson has lost control as he comes into turn 14. He's carrying a whole heap of speed. Contact with the wall, slam again on the back.
Looked like he did that all on his own too. So, and Russell Ingall, meanwhile, has gone to position 3. Yep, he did it on his own. He got crossed up in there too hot and has whacked the concrete on the outside, and it's pretty unforgiving. He's been shown the meatball flag, the black flag with the orange disc on it, and that means that quite obviously there's something hanging off the car and he must report to the pit. And
well, on the right rear there, you can see debris flapping in the wind.
I want to have a look at that again if we can, and just be sure that there was no contact between himself or Russell. And
now Russell Ingall and Greg Murphy continue their battle, and Murphy has got in front of Russell Ingall again. So Murph has done the switch back over the Enforcer. Let's just check out the race score to make it official at the moment. Mark Scape is our leader. Stephen Richards, Greg Murphy in third. That puts Russell Ingall in fourth. Paul Wheel continues his climb up the list in Team Brock. He's in fifth. Let's check in with Rusty. Greg.
An unbelievable sense of deflation and disappointment down at Dick Johnson Racing, Matty. The word from Stephen Johnson on the radio is the car jumped out of gear and he does not know why.
Incredible. And all that way too. 75 laps he'd got towards, and then the car decided to take itself over with Junior on board and get friendly with the concrete.
Look at the thing.
Absolute mess. Now they're trying to bring him in, as far as bring him home rather, to stay out there. The problem is that there's all sorts of gunk coming out of that car, and that spells danger for the guys behind. So this battle now is for the podium position number 3. Ahead of these guys, Stephen Richards and Mark Scape are effectively putting the finishing touches to their Clipsal 500. Now Ingall dives down the outside, has a look on the inside at turn 4. On board with the Enforcer, the BA Falcon versus the VX Commodore. Up around 5, another right-handed at 6. 130 kilometres an hour. They punch it out towards turn 7.
Oh, he's locked
Is
the
there
brakes.
room on the inside? Got him.
I heard him lock the brakes and he's tagged Murphy. And Russell's going to end up in strife on that one, I think.
Oh, Greg Murphy was dicing with Russell Ingall. Definite contact. Amazing that Paul Wheel managed to miss him by inches as he came spearing around 7. Wheel continues to climb up, so take Greg Murphy out of the top 3, put Russell Ingall in and put Paul Wheel in 4. Down to turn 9 they go.
Scapey must just look in the mirror at all this and think how good is all of that stuff.
Well, there's not much that Scapey can see in his mirror because Stephen Richards is 2 seconds behind. In front is nothing but clean bitumen. Here's the onboard replay.
You hear the tyres locked up and he tags him in the right rear corner. Hasn't got far enough up the inside. Murph will be fuming. Russell will probably be cranky with himself. It was a situation where he thought about it and there was a moment of hesitation, and then once it's locked up, there's nothing much you can do with 1.5 tonnes out of control and going where it wants to go. Final lap of racing in this Clipsal 500. It's exploded on us this afternoon. Scape is leading by 2 seconds from Richards and then Ingall, and there's a question mark over his position in the race at the moment.
Could mean that Paul Wheel will get a podium finish in Team Brock, car number 16. And Craig Lowndes has joined that movement as well at the rear of the top 10. Paul Dumbrell goes wide and hits the wall. Does he? No, just missed it by fractions. He was really copping a serve from Lowndes behind him as Lowndes continues his charge up the ladder. So that means that Dumbrell goes back to 9. Lowndes goes up to position 8. Mark Larkham and Jason Bargwana, the 2 Orcon cars, are holding down positions 10 and 11. They're still throwing everything at it on the final round, but out in front, forget about it. Mark Scape has this one in the bag. Quite an extraordinary race. We've had 5 safety car periods. We've had people crashing into walls, crashing into each other. The BA versus the AU, the VX and the VY. But it's all red in the grandstand because, again, Mark Scape is the man.
Thank you. Just fantastic. The car was bloody good today, fellas.
Stephen Richards second, and Scape becomes the first man ever to win back-to-back Adelaide Clipsal 500 rounds by taking out first place on the Sunday.
Mark Scape's victory in the Clipsal 500 will take him and Holden to the top of the championship ladder, but he won't have long to celebrate. In fact, the other drivers and the other teams have less than 2 weeks to prepare for round 2 at Phillip Island. Now, we have been among a record crowd of more than 213,000 people enjoying 10 categories of racing over the past 4 days. Thank you so much to the South Australian Tourism Commission for allowing us to enjoy the natural beauty and the absolute treasures of this wonderful city. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Lavina Good, coming to you from Adelaide's world-famous street circuit. See you again soon.
And Ford new boy Russell Ingall.
I know you can hear me. Buddy, I know what you're going through. It's like a bad acid trip. It's only gonna get worse. Remember, I pulled your power management chip. So even if you find an external power source, your backup generator is only good for a couple of charges. Please, just broadcast your position, and I'll come get you. All right, buddy, it's time to pick a face. Hey, you don't mind if I watch the game, do you? All right, let's see what we got. Collins, Special Forces, Delta Team, no. David Lee, oh, kinda short. We cut him.
What if my name wasn't in lights? What if my face wasn't on TV every other second? What if I was just a basketball player? Can you imagine it? I can.
You got good taste. Eggman, and it's in your hand. Got the Eggman in your hand. All right, hold it lightly, lightly. Okay.
What does that sound?
It's laughter. Just means I thought something was funny.